Bad Boys rules over The Gentleman in the box office. That is the headline on today's MBE News.
Yeah, Stephen, this one is coming in from Variety, and you're absolutely right. They do a weekly box office breakdown, really, where they speak about the top performing movies in the United States, and as I do say, The Gentleman has proven to be no match for Sony's blockbuster behemoth Bad Boys for Life, of course. The latest Martin Lawrence, Will Smith sequel. This has passed the $100 million mark. I think it's its third or fourth weekend it's been out over in the States. And it's reigning supreme. It's beat out, obviously, Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman. That only opened up this week in the States. It's been out for 3 weeks over here. I'm not surprised about this, I can't say that I am, because it is performing so well. I think it's been a long time since these two guys collaborated together in the Bad Boys franchise. I don't know the exact length of time. I haven't actually seen the movie yet, Stephen. I don't know if I'm going to go and see this movie in the theatres. I didn't mind the first Bad Boys. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the biggest fan of the franchise, but look, apparently it's very, very good. It's very, very funny, and that's been reflected on its performance. I'm not surprised it's beat The Gentleman over in the States, because Guy Ritchie's a British-centric director, and this is a very British-centric movie, British mobster movie. You'll have your Guy Ritchie fanatics over in the States who'll go out and watch it, but not enough to beat box office gold figure like Will Smith. It's just not going to happen.
No, I think they're two sides of the same coin here, John, just in different continents. You know, I think you're right. I think Bad Boys will do well over here, I think, because it will have its people that enjoyed the first movie and the sequel, and it has been long awaited. But you're right, I think The Gentleman's a different cup of tea, English tea. I think it appeals to more of a British centric audience. Certainly Guy Ritchie sort of mob films do that. I don't think, I might be wrong here, maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't imagine the likes of Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels and Snatch sort of blew everybody's minds away in the US. I think a lot of people appreciate the films, but I might be talking rubbish, John, and you can contradict me if you want, but
it may be hard to find that information, but I'll try.
But I think you're right. I think just because this Bad Boys franchise has been around since 1995, I want to say it's been a long time, and these two guys work well together, and I think whether or not I'll go and see this film remains to be seen. If I can maybe slot it in at some time this week, I might, John. I don't know. It's not really on my radar at the moment. We're obviously, once we get to box office, we will be revealing obviously what we'll be talking about on Friday's movie review show. But listen, it's expected. I think The Gentleman, if it can do any sort of damage in the US box office wise, is a positive for Guy Ritchie and obviously all the guys attached to that film, because apart from obviously you've got your Matthew McConaughey in there. I think he's sort of the US pull in there, I would imagine, but it's such a great cast. But we're not here to talk about them. We're talking about obviously Bad Boys for Life. I'm looking forward to it. As I said, it's not the priority for me this week to go and see, but if I do have some time, certainly will check it, because I did like the original movie. Second film was okay, but I like Will Smith and I like Martin Lawrence. Yeah,
and look, Stephen, together they are a great comedy duo, and look, the bickering and whatnot. I did search up the box office performances of Snatch and Lock, Stock and 2 Smoking Barrels. Snatch grossed $83.6 million all the way back in 2000, so that's probably akin to $150 million or something now. Maybe not as much as that when you take into inflation. Maybe $115 million. It's not bad. Lock, Stock only grossed $28.1 million back in '98. It's probably about $40-50 million.
It was an under the radar film, John. It was a cult sort of classic, from 1998 that no one knew the cast. Jason Statham's first acting role, actually.
It was,
and obviously no one really knew who Guy Ritchie was at this point either, but obviously it's grown over the years, the following. Snatch, on the other hand, did have a big name in Brad Pitt, so you can understand why that performed better. But
it's probably why.
Yeah.
And then you look at that opening, $11 million from The Gentleman. It's not too bad. It came in at number 4. It's got a decent rollout, 2,165 venues, so it's okay. It's a decent start. Probably gross around 40-50 million. If it resonates and there's good word of mouth, I'd imagine it'd do not too bad. As what it is, I've seen it, I enjoyed it. I thought it was wonderful. I know the likes of Campea watched it. Big Guy Ritchie fan, really enjoyed it as well. So certainly some Americans it resonates with.
Canadian, John.
Yes, but sorry, he's Canadian. I take that back immediately. Jeremy Jans, I'm thinking about. He watched it and enjoyed it as well. So some Americans with sense out there. Some of you know what you're talking about. And like good old guy. But look, I shall move on before I start insulting perhaps the biggest chunk of people that watch our show, Stephen. I think I'm reading it from Collider, but it's actually a double article.
Yeah.
But it's all about Uncharted. It's been moved back once again. It's been delayed till March next year, and this has had some knock-on effects for Masters of the Universe, which was supposed to come out March next year. It's now been pulled entirely from Sony's movie schedule. So, Stephen, I'll get into this Uncharted movie briefly, and then I'll let you in. This movie's been getting delayed again and again and again. It won't happen. It's based on a PS4. Can't recall the studio's name, the actual developers, but they're a really renowned studio. It's a fantastic franchise. They've got on Tom Holland. I think they've recently cast Mark Wahlberg as, I think, Sullivan, I think the character's name is. He's like one of the protagonists. I think Holland's playing a younger version of Nick Drake, who's the main protagonist. They had Travis Knight, who did Bumblebee, and I think he worked with Leica Studios. He's a great director. I really enjoyed Bumblebee. Because of scheduling conflicts, I lost him, and then there's supposed rumours that Ruben Fleischer will now come in, the guy that did the likes of Zombieland and Venom. So he's not confirmed yet. So this is, I think, delaying it. I don't know what your actual thoughts are on that. I know you've not played the games. I haven't played the games, but I'm aware of them.
Yeah, I'm aware of them.
It's like action-adventure, high adrenaline, lots of octane. I think it'll lend itself to a good action setting. I don't know how Tom Holland would do playing that role. He seems to be quite a big buff guy. Tom's a very lean, kind of how would you call it? I don't even know. Sinewy sort of a chap. He's muscular, but he's small in it. Don't know what your thoughts are on this. What's your thoughts on Masters of the Universe as well? I personally don't care because I never grew up watching it. But I know you did watch, I think, the original cartoon. Is that right?
I did.
And you actually enjoyed it. And you enjoyed it. So what's your thoughts on this dual news? Are you perplexed about this? You think that Uncharted could be the first proper adaptation of a game that works? Because I'm not counting that goddamn Dwayne Johnson thing, whatever the hell that was. And
Rampage,
and what do you make of Master of the Universe?
By the power of grayscale, John, I let some Scottish slang in there, but aye. Yes, I think this doesn't really bother me either. We spoke about Master of the Universe on a movie show before Christmas, didn't we?
We did, yes.
It
was announced.
I liked the animated series. It was something that I grew up on. I think it was maybe the early 80s to mid 80s, and it's became sort of a cult following. We got the film, I think 1987, I think it was, with Dolph Lundgren.
I remember you showing me the trailer. It didn't look terrible.
Yeah, Courtney Cox was in there as well, I think.
Just like
very young.
80s action.
Yeah, it was very cheesy, John, and they did what they had to do with it. It's a very hard thing to sort of follow up, from a cartoon. But just the same as Uncharted, it's another video game being transferred over to film. There's not many that's really succeeded in doing that. Probably maybe Tomb Raider to an extent, I would say, is probably one of the sort of ones that's... I wouldn't go that far, John. Street Fighter 2, that kind of thing. No, and Rampage. I think Rampage had a kind of... It was okay, it was... no one really took
Mendes,
that...
wasn't it?
Yeah, no one really took it that serious, did they? And I think in that sort of instance, the video game Rampage, I actually had that for the ZX Spectrum back in the day. It was a very unknown video game. Where on the other hand, Uncharted is very popular amongst PS4 users and stuff like that. And I was aware of it, John. I have heard the rumblings of some things going on in the background with this film as well in regards to directors, etc., casting and that. And it's just another delay. But this is the classic. When one film has its studio problems, has an effect on the one that's supposed to be, in line next. Yeah. And in this case, it's Masters of the Universe. But in this case, I'm not that fussed. If a film does come out, it'll be very interesting to see how they tackle it. If I was the sort of owner of that franchise, I would probably want some animated series to come out first to really, you're talking 35 years ago, John. You know, a generation, this generation, you know, won't really know too much about this other than from maybe their folks who remember it, you know, not that well. But I think if you're going to go down that road, I think it would probably be a good idea to probably maybe promote it in some other way.
Stephen, I'd love to see. I mind you tell me about it. I looked into it. There is a lot of colourful and interesting characters in the story. I'd love to see a sort of Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse animated style, using these characters in this universe. Because I feel like to make a live action version of it work, it'd take like an MCU style budget. And I just don't see Sony wanting.
I don't think the characters are that appealing to this generation.
Yeah,
John,
that's the thing, isn't it?
I think you've got to tackle it in some other way, and I think animation would probably be the best way to do it. Introduce
them, and then maybe if it comes off well, then they could do a live action thing. I just don't think, in terms of budget required, that Sony are willing to put in the money to make it a success, where perhaps characters aside, people could be drawn to the visual effects. Because obviously I think it's set in numerous worlds and whatnot, so I think that was the issue with the 1980s one. It was like a Doctor Who style thing where it's all in like a city and Earth. Doesn't make sense. But look, Uncharted, look, like you, I'm not sure that it would make that transition till the obviously cinema screen, if that's even a thing, cinema screen, the silver screen. I don't think it would transition. It's like every other video game in general. It doesn't seem to work. We had Halo movies in the pipelines for donks. I think it was they were trying to get Spielberg involved and whatnot. It never ever happened. And that's because they usually crash and burn. They're a disaster. I think it was Fassbender that was involved in the Assassin's Creed game, movie that was
about that,
terrible, god awful. So it's cursed. I don't think even Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg can save it. Although you have got two guys that know how to do action very well. So and Fleischer knows how to do a great action movie. So if they can get him on board, he made an unlikely success out of Venom. Maybe he could do it with this as well. I'd like to see it. If it's done right, then perhaps it's going to... Because it is an interesting story. The character's very cool as well.
Yeah.
But I ain't got much more to add to it. I'm going to move on to another Collider topic. Well, technically not, because we are semi-ditching that one and flinging it in as a little side tangent to the main topic. It's all about Sam Mendes in 1917, Stephen. It's come from Cinema Blend. He's explaining why war movies are always so popular. Well, I mean, he doesn't have to explain to me. I know why they're so popular. I'm completely obsessed with World War II, World War I. Not so much the likes of Vietnam and whatnot. So for me, that's why I'm interested. Just came back. But I digress. Yeah. No one cares what I think. What does Sam think? The reason I suppose that you make a war movie or you go and see a war movie is because it's one of the few situations where human beings are pushed to the absolute extreme of what they're capable of doing. You're looking to try and find a way to define beings at their most naked, or the human condition. That sounds strange. And this is a human beings at their most naked, their most stripped away. Not only that, but millions of men in this war had the same experience. So I digress, man. You get the idea.
Yeah.
You're tapping into the sort of duty. You have a duty to explain and answer the big question and let people live vicariously through these characters and live in that time period. So it's very intriguing to people. They are drawn to this visceral storytelling, if you like.
Yes.
They have to think about it and it makes them feel unsettled. People like that. That's why horror is such a very popular genre, if you'd like, in film, because people like to live vicariously through these characters, feel in danger, obviously feel uncomfortable in situations and whatnot that they can't get in everyday society. I think he's right, Stephen. Yeah. And I think that's why this movie's proven to be such a dark horse, looking to perhaps pick up more Oscars than people would have otherwise expected. I think technically the movie was incredible in its creation. What Roger Deakins did, I don't think many people would have been shocked if it cleaned the board or whatever with technical awards, but I don't think many people would have expected Sam to be in the driving seat for Best Director and it to perhaps be cleaning up maybe Best Movie or Best Picture at the Oscars. And I think it's because of this. People just resonates with them.
It does,
that
John.
genre.
Yeah, absolutely right. You know, I think when you've seen the likes of Dunkirk and the Churchill one with Gary Oldman, I can't remember its name.
Darkest Hour.
Darkest Hour, yeah. I think, you know, again, Sam Mendes kind of touches on it in this article. It's the human element in war. It's not showing war as some sort of, you know, grand stage for, you know, great battle scenes and stuff like that. And, dogfights in there. We get elements of that, but they're sort of background stuff in these type of films. 1917 is not any different. A lot of people, I've had a few comments, John, on our Facebook page as well in regards to this film, which are a bit misguided if you've not seen the film, because it's certainly not in that sense glorifying war or anything like that. In fact, it does the absolute opposite, how it affects human beings, and not just physically but mentally as well. And I think Sam Mendes does well to mention this in his article, the sort of effects it has on people. Some of the wording's a bit odd, when it's really stripping humans, back to the bone. And this
is human beings at their most naked.
Yeah, and I think what he means by that, it's backs against the wall, in a very extreme situation, and how humans deal with these extreme situations. And this film, you can go and check out our video. We did a movie review for this a couple of weeks ago. It's on our YouTube channel, and I think we touched on these bits as well, John, in the film that really just hit home. Really when the ending of the film, more so with obviously the colonel, brother, finding out his brother died. It really did hit home. But all these men that fought in war as well all have their own personal battles, and this film really highlights it. So I understand why these films are popular, and it's not because people want to see, as I said, tally-ho and over-the-top men and all that tomato sauce rubbish. This is like gritty. It's real. As real as it can be portrayed on the silver screen. Yes. And I think Sam Mendes deserves all the plaudits he's getting for this film.
Absolutely, Stephen. Look, me personally, as I did say, I just love going back to the period and seeing what it was like, what these great big wars were like, trench conditions and whatnot. We don't get to see trench foot and stuff like that, but as I say, living vicariously through these guys and seeing just what it was like. It's an epic time. It was a time of debauchery and just great travesties and whatnot and cruelty, but at the same time it was an incredible scale, these conflicts, and it's amazing to get back and look at it. And when you have a movie with such technical brilliance here, you've got the greatness of Roger Deakins, Thomas Newman coming in, Sam Mendes, who's did a lot of movies which are like that, Bond and whatnot. It's a match made in heaven. And you're absolutely right, it does go to the heart, and that's some of the best moments in this movie are the quiet moments. Yeah. And you've got obviously Schofield getting in and having that moment with the French woman and her little baby, the moment where obviously Blake dies in his hands and it's his friend and he's lost him, just a little chatter, the human elements, and the whole movie in a sense is kind of scoped through these two guys, just two simple human beings in the midst of one of the greatest conflicts in human history.
Yeah.
And that's just incredible, the way he's managed to micromanage it and make it like a microcosm of the war. You get little brief glimpses of things happening, and then obviously it's just a great story about human endurance and overcoming obviously adversity and whatnot and getting the job done. So look, you're absolutely right, the comment baffled me on Facebook, I can't lie. This is not glorifying war in any way whatsoever, it's just the complete opposite in actual fact. But Stephen, I'll go off into this little tangent because I'm digging myself a hole here and I'm nearly getting under and I don't want to go there. And this is all about the DGA, Director Guild of America Awards. Sam Mendes has picked up the award for excellence in directing, outstanding directorial achievement, theatrical feature film, Sam Mendes 1917. Now, this is such a big deal because I think the Producer Guild of America Awards has picked the last 6 winners of Best Director at the Oscars, so they're now saying that this could be hugely significant for Sam Mendes for the Oscars, that he may now be in the driving seat to win. Doesn't surprise me, Stephen, because I did speak about this back in December, that just because of this movie, just because of the nature of it, being a technical masterpiece, it being something so close to his heart through his grandfather, it's based on his memoirs, it's ticking all the boxes, it's something the Academy likes. They were predicting 2-3 months ago this would be an Oscar frontrunner. Some idiot says in the comments it's not a frontrunner. Well, bitch, I hope you're eating your words now because it's a frontrunner, man. It is the frontrunner.
Yeah.
This is predicting it, Stephen. What do you think? Do you think he'll win? Even if he doesn't win, I'd love to see Todd Phillips win for what he did with Joker. I'd love to see Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, these names are all ringing in my head just now, John, because I think because of the release of this film as well, it's been one of the sort of latecomers, but that was planned, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, when films, studios are seeing the release dates of other, top-notch films like Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, etc., films like that, the Irishman. I think this is sort of sitting in there, as a latecomer, but it doesn't mean the film was late, getting made, But I think it's got a good chance, John. I think probably between Sam Mendes and your man Todd Phillips, I think. And this is a category, as you said, it has Martin Scorsese in there, and Quentin Tarantino as well. So it's very interesting. I think if I was making a prediction right now, I think it would go to Sam Mendes. I'll be honest with you.
I think the momentum's with it. Yeah,
I think so.
I think it's from what you said, Stephen. Just the fact that it has been released so late. It's a late comer. It's built momentum. It's picking up awards. Although that by no means it will win. I think it was Glenn Close last year for that. Was it The Wife? She won award after award, and then it was eventually, I think, Olivia Colman. Is that her name? Yeah. Who picked up Best Actor or Actress. So it doesn't mean it's going to win, but it's definitely a front runner. Look, I love the movie, so I'd be happy either way. I like all of the movies. I would love to see Bong Joon-ho maybe win it just for historical purposes.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Parasite yet, but by all accounts, it's incredible. So, look, I digress. I'm going to move on, Stephen, to the final topic before we go into box office.
Yes.
Rick Moranis' topic is getting kicked into history. It's not happening. Sorry, Rick.
He's not appearing, apparently,
he's
in
not
the new
appearing,
Ghostbusters film. So.
Yeah, so what a surprise, eh?
Yeah, who cares?
Disgruntled little shit. He'll appear in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and whatnot, but he's too good for Ghostbusters. Yeah, whatever, Rick. But look, I digress, Stephen. Brief little chat on the Obi-Wan series being put on hold. It's been put on a short hiatus for script rewrites. We don't do a Force Friday show now. It's not technically movie related.
No.
I don't give a shit. What's your thoughts on it, man? I've got my thoughts. And I'll share them.
I don't know, John, because I've not seen the script, so I can't really comment on how bad they were or how unsatisfying they were to the studio. There was rumblings last week, John, that there was problems with this Obi-Wan series, which kind of fizzled out. Those rumours about it being cancelled, but there obviously was some kind of smoke with the fire there, and this is what it is. This is the smoke here. It is obviously the script rewrites is obviously the headline of today. Obviously Kathleen Kennedy and our Lucas team have decided to pause the early pre-production work on the series and send the assembled crew home from Pinewood Studios, which doesn't sound good, John. But in the bigger picture of things, the sort of the bigger picture of when this will be released, it might be the best thing for it if it's not up to standards.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know what the script was like, so it's very easy for us to say in a very what to say about the other channels that sort of pounce on these things and love it, but I think it would be very easy for us to say, this is doomed. Kathleen Kennedy's this, that, and the other. She never interfered with, the Mandalorian, but we don't know that. We don't know if she interfered. Perhaps.
But she didn't have to, Stephen, because Jon Favreau wrote the scripts, and that man knows Star Wars. So
yeah,
get him back. There's the answer.
But we don't know what the discussions were behind the scenes, John. Kathleen Kennedy, whether you like it or not, is the president of Lucasfilm, and she will have her say. That's not to say Jon Favreau's script wasn't top notch. It certainly was, from what we saw. But was there any interference from Kathleen Kennedy that
I doubt
won't get out? but normally the bad news, the good news doesn't get out, John, when it's something related to Kathleen Kennedy. So, and I'm not the biggest fan, as you know. If you check out other videos, I'm not bound down to Kathleen Kennedy here. I just think, that sometimes these things work out for the best. We were talking about Rogue One the other week there, for all the chaos and change in that film, it's the best film. So sometimes rewrites and reshoots are for the best, for the sort of finished product.
Yep.
Again, it's very hard to say at this stage because we're so desperate for this series to get off the ground running, and it's another delay. You know, we want to see Ewan McGregor back. I think this is what it all adds up to, John. It's anticipation of this series, because we know what Lucasfilm are capable of doing in television now with The Mandalorian and the sheer quality of that series. So we know it gives us an idea where we could go with Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's a loved character, a beloved character for over 40 years now. Ewan McGregor is such attached to this character now, just as much as Alec Guinness was, and we want to see him back on the screen as soon as possible. So obviously anticipation comes into this, frustration comes into this as well, but until we get to see, very much like the episode 9, what was the director called again?
Colin Trevorrow.
His leaked scripts, what could have been, we'll never know until we see something, you know, maybe leaked one day, that what these original scripts were like.
Yeah, I think it was Hossein Amini was the guy who was working on the scripts. Yeah, I think she was trumpeting at a Star Wars Celebration when she brought Ewan McGregor on. The scripts are all done. Well, I was going to get right into it, and she was very excited about it. So
something happened,
That's the only thing that confuses me. Like, how can you be excited? Clearly having to audit the scripts and then all of a sudden decide, no, they're absolute piles of shit. Get them out, put them off of some wall over there, and then we'll rewrite the whole thing and delay it. That's the only thing that confuses me. She's just get previous for meddling though, hasn't she? She medals. I
think that comes into it as well. I think, you know, obviously Kathleen Kennedy has got previous for Solo. She's got previous for Rogue One. She's got previous for Episode 9 as well. You're talking 3 films out of 5, you know, that she's been, you know, obviously linked with interference, so it doesn't bode well, but again, I just want to see Lucasfilm releasing the best product possible, and if this is going to help the product, we'll not know till it's released.
That's true. We'll never know, Stephen. You're absolutely right. It's much like The Rise of Skywalker, as you did say. It's a good comparison. You'll never know what Trevorrow's movie was ever really going to be like. It's just unfortunate, because I was looking so much forward to seeing Ewan back. Yeah, he's, as you did say, one of the best things from the prequels.
Well, some of the things,
but it may turn out for it to be the best, because as you did say, Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie made by Disney, and it's the most, well, outside Solo.
Yeah, but some of the things that are connected to this story is concerning, John. That's what I was going to get into next. Because obviously they were looking to kick off this year with production, and it looks like from some crew, you know, have mentioned this, that apparently they've been told that the delay is indefinite, which is concerning.
That is very
and
concerning.
The other thing is the episodes numbers as well. The rumour is it was being cut down from 6 to 4 episodes.
No,
I don't want to see 4 episodes.
No.
I want to see 6 episodes. I want to see 100 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I understand, obviously, the timeline's got a lot to do with it as well, and there's only so much story you can tell in between that period between episode 3 and 4. So I'd be quite happy with 6 1 hour, you know, episodes.
Yeah. Stephen, look, it'd be a travesty, because the man's so busy. Ewan, he's got such a busy schedule. He does so many different award-laden projects and whatnot. His time's limited to come into this character. You don't want to waste the man's time for 4 episodes. That'd be a disaster. He actually spoke about it himself. He says, I think we're shooting early next year as opposed to summer this year, so maybe it's not as bad as we all think. Maybe it'll just be 6 months. They clean up the scripts, and then it ends up being for the best. We get the best product on the screen. Yeah. It's going to happen at some point. They got Ewan on the stage. They're not going to make that man look like a fool by bringing them out and then delaying it indefinitely and it never happening. So what'll be will be. But look, I just want to see Kathleen Kennedy's arse booted out the door as soon as possible. She's been a disaster for Star Wars. Let's be honest, great producer, but a disaster as a president of Lucasfilm. I want to see Jon Favreau in now. Kevin Feige coming in and maybe liaising with him, and then bring Filoni in some, I don't know, canon level Pablo Hidalgo. That's the guys you want, not Kathleen Kennedy. But look, I'm done speaking about it. I'm going to move on to box office on that note. This is for the weekend of 17th of January to 19th of January 2020. Stephen, what do we have coming in at number 1 this weekend?
And it's second week, John. It's 1917, grossing 8.1 million over the weekend, 24.2 million overall. Very
good performance, Stephen. As we did say in a previous topic, connects, it resonates with people, more so here perhaps than anywhere else. A lot of people died here in that conflict. Well, grandparents and whatnot, great grandparents. Not a surprise to see it performing very, very well. Overall, worldwide, $200 million. That is insane for a movie like this.
Yeah.
It's not a blockbuster.
No.
For it to gross nearly $250 million, what a success that is for Sam Mendes, George Mackay, Dean Charles Chapman, Roger Deakins, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Hats off to him. Thoroughly
Definitely.
enjoyed the movie.
Certainly
Thoroughly
did,
enjoyed
John. But moving on to number 2 this week, and its first week, it's Bad Boys for Life, Bad Boys 3, or you want to call it. It's grossed 4.9 million over the weekend, 4.9 million overall.
Yeah, not dominating the box office here quite so much
No.
as like it is over in the States. Again, it's just different strokes for different folks,
It's a
really.
good start though, John.
Yes, it is a very good start. $215.6 million overall. It ain't giving a shit about its performance here. It's already made a profit, I've no doubt about it. We're already getting another Bad Boys movie, so yeah, I've not seen it yet.
Yeah,
Spoke
Bad
about
Boys
it.
4 is in the works, yeah. But we'll move on to number 3 this week, John, in its fourth week. It is gross 1.9 million over the weekend, 21.3 million overall. It's a film that we call Wee Woman in
Wee
this
Woman,
film.
yes.
It's called Little Women Everywhere Else.
Yes, 26.8%
Little Women,
drop.
not women.
Little Women, yes. Its fourth weekend, $21.3 million is very, very good indeed. $146.7 million overall, $40 million budget. Greta Gerwig, obviously, very passionate about this movie.
Yeah.
I have seen it, Stephen. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Some amazing performances in there. Florence Pugh, Saoirse Ronan, fantastic. That's what it is, man. I mean, it's the first Little Woman I've seen.
In there, yeah.
She's in there as well, yes, and Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, the whole shebang
The
again.
whole shebang
Yeah,
again, yes.
number 4 this week, John, is The Gentleman. We spoke about this film last Friday. It's in its third week. It's grossed 1.4 million over the weekend, 10.3 million overall.
Yes, Stephen, this has been out for 3 weeks over here. It's actually 4, we're a week behind, but it's
Yes.
up. It's up. Theatres, plus 8 theatres, 36.8% drop. $10.2 million is pretty damn decent. Can't complain about that. $33.5 million overall. Haven't got budget information, but I hope it makes a profit because it's a fantastic movie. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant is just sublime.
Certainly is, and Guy
Play a game with
Ritchie
me, why?
is back to his best.
Yes.
Coming in at number 5 this week, John, in its 6th week, it's Jumanji: The Next Level. It's grossed £1.4 million over the weekend, 42.6 million overall.
Stephen, it's hard to believe this movie's been out for 6 weeks. It feels like it's been out for an eternity.
Yeah.
I've still not seen it. It's dropped 37.3%. 92 theatres it's dropped as well. 42 million is incredible. I don't know what that is in pounds. This is all in dollars.
Yeah.
Probably about 30 odd million pounds. $737.4 million worldwide. Another monumental success for Sony Pictures and for Dwayne. We're getting another one. Getting another one. Hopefully it'll be, what was that goddamn space one called?
Zathura, something like that. Yeah, something like
Go
that.
to space next time.
Yeah, it sounded like shampoo. But listen, John, that's actually slang for another word, isn't it? Shampoo. But listen, probably is as well.
Yeah.
Coming in at number
Yes.
6, John, this week, in its 5th week, it's Star Wars Episode X. The Rise of Skywalker,
Yes.
grossing 1.2 million over the weekend, 73.8 million overall.
Stephen, I'm going to correct myself. The last time I spoke about this movie's performance, I says that I was wrong, that I'd screwed up in my prediction, that it had already crossed. This is in dollars. It has not yet crossed my 60 to 70. I'll probably be in my 60 to $70 million prediction now, so I'm bang on. I didn't get it wrong at all.
No.
It's not got long left. It's crossed over $1 billion. We've both seen it. I've only seen it once, which is a first for Star Wars. I even went to see The Last Jedi twice. That was a mistake, though. I actually didn't mind the movie, Steve. We spoke about it, man.
It's okay, John.
It was okay. It wasn't
It's a bit
terrible.
of a mess, but I wouldn't. That fault doesn't lay at the door of J.J. Abrams.
No.
I'm afraid he
It's the
did
door of the
his-
round-headed fool.
Yeah, he did what he
It's
had
not
to
a
do. Well, rumours as well, John, that obviously the ending, there was a lot of interference as well from studios. But that disappointed JJ, but listen, it is what it is. We'll move on to number 7 this week.
Yes.
It's Bombshell in its first week. It's grossed at £1 million, dollars, whatever that's meant to be.
Yeah, is this the one with Charlize Theron? Yeah, I've heard about this movie. I think it's about a talk show or something. I think she gets booted off or something. I can't recall. I think it fails or something like that. It's meant to be really good.
Right,
I'm
okay.
actually going to go and
Yeah.
watch this. I heard good stuff about it. $1 million is not too bad.
Yeah, good cast, John.
Yeah, very good cast. $37.2 million worldwide. Can't argue with that. It's a relatively small production, I would have thought. and hopefully it's made a profit. Charlize, I mean, you look at that cast, Stephen.
I think it's
and Jay Roach as well directed it.
I
So
think it's the anchor woman of Fox News, John. It's based on a true
I
story.
think it's about the ratings starting to plummet. It's supposed to be really, really good. So I'll probably watch
try
it.
and catch that one, But coming in at number 8 this week, John, it's JoJo Rabbit, and its third week. It's only 3 weeks that's been out.
Unbelievable.
It seems a lot longer. It's grossed 900,000 over the weekend, 7.1 million overall.
Total disappointment, Stephen. 7.1 million for a country that prides itself in its satirical humour and being a big advocates of it and loving it. And the only gross that's a disgrace, really. It's a fantastic film. You've let Tiger down there, you shits. $54 million overall, though. Look, the guy's happy anyway. He doesn't care. He says he's been overwhelmed by people from Holocaust survivors to just plebs out in the street coming up and saying it really touched them, they enjoyed it. So he's already won. The man's a winner. He's not caring. He's getting a Star Wars movie. He's doing another Thor movie. He's done another. I think it's Next Goal Wins or something. I can't wait to see that. I enjoyed it.
I think this was more a sort of passion project for him, John, anyway. I don't think he's going to be losing much sleep over its box office performance here in the UK. The other thing is, obviously, it was released here so late on. You know, the buzz about this was more or less fizzled out by the time it hit our cinemas. Certainly not for fans of the director, you know, and fans that loved the trailer over here in the UK. We were anticipating it for many months.
Steve, you probably had people pirated it as well.
Possibly,
There's
John.
so many people on Twitter, I'm not going to name names, saying that this movie is our favourite movie of 2019. It's not even out here yet. So
I picked up on that. I don't want to say what it is, but listen, John, it is what it is. Again, directors not going to lose sleep over this. Coming in at number 9 this week, John. This is the film that we will be reviewing, obviously, next Friday.
Yes,
we're going to see this in the cinema tomorrow. The time this comes out, so we'll already have seen it. Monday, that is. We'll go and see this.
Looking forward to it.
It's in its first week. It's Just Mercy. It's grossed £700,000 overall. This film only came out here last week, I think, so it's only been in the cinemas for a week.
Stephen, it's supposed to be incredible, man. Obviously, Jamie Foxx. I was about to say something else here. I screwed up last time spoke about this movie. I said Michael J. Fox. Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx. They're both supposedly incredible. I've heard really good things about it. I cannot wait to see it. It's such a touching story. It's $30.4 million overall. I think that shows.
I heard that Jamie Jordan's pretty good in this as well, John.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to discussing it. Love these two guys, just amazing actors and a really cool story, so I cannot wait to see it, man. It's doing very well.
Yeah, and I can't wait to talk about it either, John. But we'll finish up with the box office this week, coming in at number 10, and its 9th week. It's Frozen 2, grossing £700,000 over the weekend, 67.4 million overall. Just keeps chugging away, Stephen, at 1.419 billion. I want to get all those numbers in because it's the most successful animated movie of all time. How the hell did that happen, man? All of those great animated movies. Yeah. Not saying this is bad because I haven't seen it. It must be good. It's cost a shit ton of money. Disney again, they just know how to connect with as many demographics as is humanly possible. What can you say? It's a success, man. It's been around forever. But look, I don't know if you've got anything to add to Frozen 2, Stephen, or your experience of seeing it. You haven't, so we shall finish box office on that note. And today's MBE movie news as well. What do you make about The Gentleman not quite topping Bad Boys for Life over in the States? If you've got anything to say, you can comment below. What's your thoughts on 1917? Sam Mendes' comments. Will he win Best Director at the Oscars? Obi-Wan being delayed. If you've got anything to say about anything we spoke about, you can comment below and let us know what your thoughts are down below in the comments section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, and you can subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. And if you do, you'll see me and Stephen again tomorrow for MBE Heroes.